Hello, welcome to Navigating the Truth. It is September the 3rd, and my guest is David Collis.
Hello? I can't hear you, but you can hear me, right?
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth, and can you believe it? It is September the 3rd, and we are just rolling through this year. I would like to thank the listeners who have chosen today to listen in. Thank you very much. And there is a donate button on KCR Radio's webpage if you like what you're hearing. We have many, many excellent hosts and wonderful guests. Click the donate button, or you can sign up for the Dark Vault. And I'm on Facebook, Caroline Bell Tumblety. I have my website, which is souliam.org or .net, and you can drop me an email there. I also have YouTube. I think I've actually had 28 subscribers. Yahoo! Thanks to all the subscribers. And I usually put up the show like once a week. I'll put maybe half an hour, 40 minutes of the show, and a link to KCR Radio's website so that you can listen to the rest of the show. And today I have an awesome guest. I have been trying to get David Collis to come on the show for a few months now. And finally, he is here. And let me just read you his bio. David is a native of Southern California, author. David Collis is versed in humanities, art, religion, and holds a master's degree in fine art. David is an artist, photographer, carpenter, and designer of a new series of sacred symbols. He characterizes his life as a quest driven by the romance of exploration and invention. David's book, Interviewing Jesus, examines the lifetimes and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, and presents him in a bold new light from infancy to the end of his ministry. Christianity and the life and sayings of Jesus allowed Collis to center his creative energies and insights on a single subject in order to bring a new and fresh insight to an ancient living tradition. Interviewing Jesus is an authentic portrayal of the man who dedicated his life to the Father. Collis vividly portrays Jesus' spiritual odyssey and compares it to the wisdom and stories from Judaism. The Gospel of Thomas, the ancient Mediterranean religions, and the New Testament. He approached his thought experiment to investigate Jesus' hopes, aspirations, and influences through an imaginary one-on-one conversation. Questions regarding Jesus' missing years, family, religion, social conditions, and Roman occupation are asked, and new and intimate details are revealed. Collis explores Jesus' compassion, how he came to know the Father, and what occurred that turned him into a teacher and leader. The book culminates with Jesus' impassioned and wrenching crucifixion. Readers will feel what Jesus felt, see what Jesus saw, and hear what Jesus heard. Throughout the interview, Jesus' teachings come alive, his thoughts shine, his challenges glisten, and his difficulties sparkle. Interviewing Jesus is his first book, and I just have to go further down here. And here we go. And the book is an examination of the lifetimes and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, as told through an interview with the author. And I think I tried to get the book on Amazon, but I could not get the book. I also want to give a shout out to Solaris Blue Raven, because this is how I actually even heard about David. I had heard him on a couple of Solaris' shows, so big thank you to Solaris. And also, I believe you have been on Life in the Hologram with Madeline Rudy and Merlin the Wizard, so big thank you to them as well. And I would like to thank David, and hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for all of that.
I got to get through it, you know. But I did. I went to Amazon and I could not locate your book.
Yeah, that's because I have the rights back to my book, so the publisher and I kind of had a falling out.
Okay, all right.
And I haven't been able to put it back up yet, so I'm looking for a new publisher.
Okay, all right. Well, I look forward to it. So I look forward to reading it. It seems very, very interesting. And what a concept, you know, just to have a conversation with Jesus. How did you come up with that? I think what it is David's connection is a bit wobbly, so maybe we'll get that fixed. Anyway, I'm excited to be talking to David Collis. I know that he has one of his paintings, Communion, that is currently, I believe, in Tucson. And maybe we can talk to him about that as well. And what else am I going to say here? Yeah, we were talking before the show, and we were talking about all these different connections that we don't know that we don't actually know that is the direction that we're going in until we start it's almost like dots start to be connected. Like for me, as far as finding myself on the Ayrshire coast at this time in my life, I'm discovering things about the real history of the place that I was not aware of. At any point, can I remember even thinking some of the things that now I'm pretty convinced are actual. I don't even really care about the facts and the academia. I know that there are a lot of truly gifted and creative people out there who have spent a lot of time in research, putting together theories and ideas and history books and art. And the thing is, we're actually at, I don't even know if it's a crossroads, but we are maybe at the edge of a cliff where the stories that we have told ourselves or been told is that they're not really true, and also they have had an effect on the psyche, the civilizations in the different countries in the world, just by the stories that have been told to us and the history that has been taught. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. And I think what has happened is the listeners can hear me, Tina can hear me, but it looks like David can't hear me. And right now we're trying to get him back on. I don't really. Oh,
I'm
are you
back
there?
on.
Ah,
I can hear you.
hello.
Yeah, we kind of went into some weird space there.
That was weird because you couldn't hear
silence.
me. Yeah. And yet, I never lost connection. I was still talking. And Tina's like, yeah, I can hear you. Keep talking. You're live. Just well seen as live, right?
How fascinating. Yeah. So all of a sudden there's just, I got disconnected, but I was able to text Tina.
Isn't that weird?
Uh-huh.
It's very weird. Well,
so,
we do.
You know,
we live in Bizarro land. Yep.
I was going to mention that I've been on Solaris's shows many times and Madeline's many times. So
yeah,
it's a great community out there.
It really is. And that is how I heard about you, you know, I had not heard, I hadn't heard about your book. I hadn't heard about your work. And so, yeah, grateful to that for, they have really wonderful guests. KCR Radio really does have some wonderful guests that they have on. And otherwise you would never hear about them, you know?
That's correct.
Yeah. It's quite the It's quite the service for people. I love radio, I do. I love it.
Well, you know what it does is it provides new voices out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot of voices. And of course, some are good and some are bad and some are mediocre. So,
Yeah.
you get the whole gamut.
We get a choice. Yeah.
That's right. You get a lot of stuff out there.
We get a choice. But like when I think about radio, I think about remember they used to do, well, I don't even think I was alive at the time, but they did dramatizations and they would act it out and it was just voice. So you had to fill it all in your head.
Yes.
I thought that was fantastic. Like people would huddle around the radio and listen to the latest thriller that would be being acted out on the radio.
Well, I can tell you that that was my grandparents' generation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mine too. Yeah.
And then my parents were the bridge between that and television. And then I'm, part of the television. Of course, now everything is very different now with the internet. So
very, very different.
Very, very different.
Even the pixels, even the pixels on a screen, like a TV screen. Remember how big they used to be?
Yeah, we thought that was good.
We thought that was great. Yeah. It was in a cabinet. It was great. Yeah.
It was in a big old cabinet that was a dedicated cabinet.
I remember trying to move one and it must have weighed about 75 pounds. I was like, oh my God.
And the thing is that they used to be combos. So you'd have your bar in there and then you'd have your turntable in there and you'd have your TV in there.
That's right. Yeah. Wow.
There's a lot going on in one package.
Well, immediately my mind goes to some of the pictures of the first computers. They would be like a full building.
Yes. They were massive.
They were so big. And
Massive.
yeah. And now it will fit in my hand, telephone, smartphone. It's all in my hand. Yeah.
That's all that miniaturization. And now we're getting, now it's going to even be going even smaller and it's going to be possibly on your body. And there's a lot going on.
No, I think that's where I'm going to draw the line.
Yeah.
I don't mind putting on glasses, that might have a little screen in the corner. But I'm not about having myself hardwired. No, I don't think I'm going to go that route.
And the whole neural net, I think I would imagine, you're part of the neural net. I don't know about that. That's kind of.
Yeah, well, I don't think we can avoid the waves, the frequencies. Yes. I think they are, and I don't think they go around our bodies. I think they go through, on occasions. I do, but I don't know. That's a whole other subject, and I'm not really educated on it. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, with all this technology, I mean, we're seeing such a rapid change in it that it makes me wonder whether or not we as a species are adapting fast enough with our instincts and what that might happen, So I think that there's, I'm playing a little more cautious.
Yeah. I think the more aware we are, I think making the choice to be aware versus being asleep is really the only choice now.
Uh-huh.
Just the awareness, as much as we can. I mean, I drift off. I know I do. I go into my daydreams, but being aware, what is actually occurring around us, I think is super important right now.
What do you see?
What do I see? Well, what I see is it's discombobulated. There's very little connection. That's on the surface. There's very little, and I feel like there's a lack of permanency. It's as if I could blink and it could be gone. And the other aspect here is that there is even another layer, and that layer is connected, but I don't seem to be connected to it. That's the best I can describe that.
It's almost as if all this new technology is mimicking what we as human beings already have in ourselves.
I think
and
so.
how our communities work with that interconnections. And so now we're moving away from our innate and natural abilities, and we've kind of turning all those off, and then we were moving over into this new area and turning all this new technology on.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
And the
and
question is whether or not what might be happening because of that. So on a big scale.
yeah, on a big scale, well, everything has changed. Everything has changed in the last, what, 2, 3 years, like unrecognizably changed.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I used to look forward to getting on a plane. I don't even have a desire like to. I used to love to go and visit other countries and stuff. That seems to have left me for now, just for now. It might come back again because there's still places to see.
Such as?
Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pyramids. You know,
Pyramids?
there's a place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pyramids. I would like to see the pyramids. I would actually like to put my feet in the Nile. That has always been, yeah. I would like to dip my feet in the water, you know?
Where?
On the Nile, somewhere on the Nile. I don't really know where. Maybe I would know once I was there, like where to go. The other place is there's a place in Santa. What's it called? Sintra. Is it Sintra? And I think it's in Germany.
Well,
I would like to
I
go
don't think
there.
I know that.
Yeah, it's full of like there's a very, very deep well that you can actually walk down like a spiral. And I don't even know the age of this. I don't even think there's like an age put on it. And the whole town seems to be like that, kind of built on these hills with all these kind of little rock dwellings and pathways. And yeah, I just would like to go maybe a weekend and kind of have a look at it. There was also, that was the other thing, that was what attracted me to it. There was a sword that was wedged in a wall halfway up a castle.
Very much like Arthur.
Well, also, like, how did the sword get halfway up a wall on a castle?
And it's embedded into
and it's
the rock.
embedded in it. Yeah, yeah. How does that happen? And why?
Well, do you get much, now that you're back in Scotland, do you go around and you explore your own country?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like this area has kept me busy for the past 8 years.
Yeah.
Unbelievably. Like,
well, Scotland's on my bucket
unbelievable.
list.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah?
Scotland's on my bucket list. Oh, yeah.
Well, what you're being attracted to, like with the stone circles and the you even mentioned meteors. We've had a few here, so we've had a few meteor strikes.
So the question is whether or not that's are we getting more, or is that kind of normal? So anyway, yep, Scotland and England, and well, that's just I think it's part of a big connection with the ley lines and intersections of various ley lines. I definitely would like to explore the Michael line.
Okay.
And then of course that, and then I want to go to the pyramids like you, and then I felt like I need to probably get over to India and Tibet. So. Yeah, I've been around the world a lot, but there's still a lot of places that I feel like I need to see. So,
still some travel,
and experience.
I have a question. Like in your bio, it says that you helped build some sacred circles.
Yes, I did.
Can I ask you, like, what was that? Like, what were you doing? Like, I know it was a sacred circle, but what was it? What was it about?
Yeah, this is, it's fascinating because I've been interested in the stone circles for a long time. And then I ended up meeting a woman that was building stone circles around the world. And she was responsible, it was kind of like through her and her channeling that she ended up building 7 circles. And I was part of like the last 2. So one was in Peru, And I didn't physically go to Peru, but I was doing a lot of meditation and prayer on that one. And then the other one was in Turkey. And these 7 circles, and this is kind of fascinating because there's some information that was told to us that, you kind of think about it at one point when I was younger, and then I start thinking about it a little bit differently now that I'm older, because it goes, wait a minute, hang on here. That was a really important thing that they just mentioned, and it just kind of went like by the wayside. But the first circle that she built was out in kind of the Palm Springs area in Southern California. Mm-hmm. And she didn't live that far away from there. And she was told that that circle that she built out there was first completed 50,000 years ago. And it was part of one of 7 circles. And so the idea is that with these circles, they're going to be bringing in new energies and a revitalization of energies and opening up as a portal, in a sense, because there's 7 circles around the world to bring in and usher in new possibilities, new eras, new ideas. And I thought, wow, that's, I would really like to be a part of that. And it seems as though that has happened. I think there's a lot of things that have happened because the final one was completed in the year 2000. So, but there's one here there are 7 circles. So one is in the Palm Springs area. There's another one in Australia. There's another one in at the base of Mount Fuji. There's another one in Madagascar. There's another one in China, Tibet area. Mm-hmm. There's one in Peru, and there's one in Turkey.
Wow. Like, I wonder how that looks on a map, Like, I'm sure you've looked at it. Like,
I have. And we kind of want to think about how they're all interconnected, mm-hmm. As if it's all connected through energies and ley lines and telluric earth energies. Mm-hmm. And I think that there are, but I also kind of think that these have particular consciousnesses that are associated with each one of these. So it looks like we got a minute to go before the break. So I won't get too involved in this. So, in Africa, that's a witch doctor energy and Mount.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So at the base of Mount Fuji is the samurai energy, which is fearlessness. And the one in Peru is the heart energy of Christ. Mm-hmm. The one in Turkey is the eye of God. And the one in Australia is the aboriginal mind. So that sees through. If you kind of think about this for a second, it is able to see through the physical world into and understand and see through into kind of the spiritual world.
Okay, I'm going to hold you right there because we have the music, David. We'll be right back after this break.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here.
Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse. morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 million miles till midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the Jed Foundation.
Vegas, baby! Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you. You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome back to Navigating the Truth, and I am your host, Caroline Bell Tumblety, and we are talking to David Collis today. And David was just, before the break, telling us about the sacred circles that he was involved in their building. And I believe the last one you had mentioned was the Eye of God in Turkey.
That's correct.
I had a question. Are these are they correlated with like chakras? Like, is there some kind of line up with the chakras?
I think there was never any mention that was what was happening. It was more like there was an amplification of the particular energies in that particular area.
Okay.
So with Turkey, with the Eye of God, that area, the whole Asia Minor area, was the place where the most blood has been shed with human, right? So there's a healing process with that. When it came to Tibet, there is a faith, a deep, rooted faith. And that's like part of the energy of that area. When it got into the Mount Fuji in Japan, that was the samurai energy, and it was a absolute 100% fearlessness. So we're looking at now energies that are inherent within, I think, those areas and in those cultures. So with the Native Americans in the Palm Springs area, that was, the connections to the earth. Then you have the one out in Australia, and it was the Aboriginal mind, the ability to see beyond, the physical, the world, right, and understand what's going on. So you can read what's happening just by looking at what's happening in the world and with people, but you can see beyond it. Peru was the heart of Jesus, so there's a level of compassion with that. And with the Madagascar energy, that was the witch doctor energy. It's bringing up and all the energies of the earth into the world, in a sense. So, I mean, when you think about like voodoo, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing how you can manipulate energies of the earth and consciousness to bring out a particular end. So all of those circles represented a particular manifestation, and the fact that now they're all connected together because we did this work, that seemed to have opened up a brand new portal, a brand new area that other intelligences can come through and help us go through our, growth period and our transition from, this one era to the next. I must say that, the work was completed in like 2000 and 2001, that area. So other things have been going on with Joanne, that was her name, who was in charge. But that particular work was over with. And there was a lot.
50,000 years ago is what she was kind of tapping into.
Exactly. So here we are. What was going on 50,000 years ago? That this kind of work needed to be started and needed to be completed, but it failed. And then this time around, it was completed and it was successful. So that actually makes me stop and think a little bit about what's going on, particularly with ancient history and where the earth was at that time.
Oh yeah, it's fascinating. So because look at how things have kind of flipped upside down, and a lot of people are realizing that our history is not really what it was presented as in many, many cases.
Okay, so what is it that you're referring to?
What I'm referring to is that we have an account of the Romans attacking Scotland. They didn't have success, supposedly, in conquering that part of the British Isles. That they came across a fierce adversary. Now, that's how it was told to me, and that's how it is told in the books. But they came back a third time, and that is not written about. And that is the time when we had a massive civilization here. There was stone circles in the Orkneys that would put Stonehenge to shame.
Yes.
I mean, these are circles within circles within circles. This was a massive kingdom.
Yes.
And it was flattened. They murdered everybody. And that has been left out of the books. And how do I know that? Do I have something I'm putting it together, but I can't present you with a Rosetta Stone, that says, here you go, that's the truth. what it is how can I even explain this? I just know it. I know it. I know it as I breathe the air. You know, I know that and it's unfolding. I'm not in complete I don't have the complete story, but I have enough of it to know that there's probably a way to prove that. You know, there's probably a way to prove that on some level. Anyway.
Well, do you think it was the Romans, or do you think that there might have been somebody else?
Well, it looks like it was the Romans, but maybe not the Romans that we have again been told. I see a very militant civilization that wanted something at any cost. And the thing about what they wanted was we already had multiple different civilizations living in harmony and peace.
Yes.
And we had travel, like the ships that we had was out of this world. Like really, we had no problem with the sea. And I also I can go right into it because I have this whole story that starts to bubble up, like how we were able to breathe for long periods of time underwater, being that we were on the coast. And yeah, I see multiple different what we would call races. Like here, like there's a painting, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's one of my favorite paintings, and it's called The Druids.
Yep.
And I think that's accurate. Like what they show, like as far like we had Inuits here. Like we even have proof of that. Like the Inuits had settled in the north as well. So we had multi races here, and we didn't have a problem with it. And we were completely massacred and wiped out, and there is little to none of the history left. It's all broken up in different stories. But it's not about me, David. It's about you.
Well, no, this is part of what I've been researching lately.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So, the whole thing with Jesus is one part, and then there's this fascination I've had. I used to do a lot of automatic writing when I was younger, and there was I kind of got into a trance, and I was in a sense I was seeing and experiencing the Tuatha De Danann, which is part of the civilization that you're talking about. So, did this civilization go underground? Did they get wiped out? Who were the shining ones? Who are all the little fairies? And what is all that energy doing up there? And then why is that it's still part of the myth, or still part of like this ancient history, but definitely there has been a rewriting of what took place. And I know that rewriting took place when the Christians came in and started to Christianize the areas and rename things. And I know that there was Vikings, but the Romans were there before.
Thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth on kcrradio.com. If you would like to hear the interview in its entirety, please go to kcrradio.com and you can access the archive. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.